What up guys, Frazier here for Complex News. On Tuesday night, Damian Lillard learned he's going to be a part of the NBA All-Star Game for the third time in his career. He was named a Western Conference reserve and will take part in the game on February 18th. He was obviously thrilled to hear the news. But what Dame wasn't thrilled about were some comments Russell Westbrook made shortly after the All-Star reserves were announced. Westbrook, who was also named an All-Star reserve, was upset about his teammate Paul George not being named to the team. So while speaking with reporters, he threw some shade at the 4 Warriors players who made the team, as well as Dame. It's just outrageous in my opinion. You got 4 people from one team, you got guys complaining about getting snubbed until they get in, you got guys just talking about it all the time. But the guys that deserve it, should be in, are not. I just don't understand. Dame was the player Russ was referring to when he referenced guys complaining about getting snubbed. Dame did an interview with ESPN.com last week and talked about being snubbed last season. On Wednesday night, Dame was asked to respond to Russ's comments prior to the Trailblazers game against the Timberwolves. He admitted he was disappointed with what Russ had to say about him and said he feels as though he is more than deserving of an All-Star nod this season. I respect Russ a lot, so it was kind of disappointing to see him say that. Because he's played against me, he's played against our team, he knows what I've accomplished. Not just this year, but over my career. So it was a little bit disappointing, but I know that I earned my spot this year, and that's pretty much what it is. I earned my spot. Dame also spoke about Westbrook's shade after scoring 31 points against Minnesota to lead Portland to a 123-114 win. He didn't pull any punches as he once again let it be known that he feels he earned a spot on the All-Star team despite what Russ said about him. I really don't care what he said. His word is not law, so it is what it is. The last thing I'll say about that is the 2 years that I didn't make it, I said that every guy that did make it was deserving because they were. I said I just feel like I should have been there, but that was my way of handling it. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. You don't have no loyalty towards me. Now, Dame may not have appreciated Russ's remarks, but Paul George did. He was also asked about what his teammates said about him after he missed out on making the All-Star team, and George responded by going as far as to say Westbrook going to bat for him could make his free agency decision easier this summer. He even seems to suggest it could give the Thunder a leg up on other teams in the race to sign him to a long-term deal. At the end of the day, it's hard to blame Russ or Dame for the things they've said over the last couple of days. They're both entitled to their opinions in the situation, and it's part of what makes the All-Star game so much fun in the first place. The race for the last few slots on each team is exciting. But there's probably going to be a little bit of tension between the two when they take the court for the All-Star game, regardless of whether they end up playing on the same side or not. And interestingly enough, all of this could also spill over into the postseason. The Thunder and Trailblazers are both in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference, and depending on how things play out, the teams could potentially meet in the first or second round of the playoffs this spring. That's the news for now, but for all the latest on Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, and the NBA All-Star Game, subscribe to Complex News on YouTube. For Complex, I'm Frazier.